more. And it's like, how do you guys feel about like Twitter becoming like a war zone a lot of the time? Like, there's times where I'm scrolling my TL and it's like, yo, like I'm trying to get away from this thing because it is not my business, unfortunately. But every time I refresh my
someone else
retweeting or quote tweeting or dropping a name or this, and I'm mad uncomfortable in my own home reading my own timeline. So it's like, I want to like discuss like how you guys feel about like seeing all like these personal issues just like come to light of people who you may not know or may not have heard of, or things like that.
It's been a long time coming.
It's super uncomfortable.
And it's very, very
because, like, what are we supposed to do about it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, the people that are not involved in any
like,
way,
especially if it's, like, a criminal level. Like, I'm not a police officer. Like, there's nothing
what
I
do you
can
want
do about this. Yeah.
Yo! There's some things I'm like, this needs to go to the
Like,
police.
sometimes I see words and I'm like, I don't know what this means. Like, I don't know what to say or do, but it is a lot. It's a lot.
I feel it in my chest. Like, I feel sick.
I think sometimes I think before Twitter was like a thing that people would open up to like get away or like let me go catch a laugh, let me go see whatever.
That's how it was for me.
But now every time you do go on, there's been a lot, and I'm all for if you feel that you putting whatever you're going through on a public forum helps you get it out the way you need to get out, and it helps you reach whatever level of peace or whatever goal you want to get to. By all means, I can't tell you how to feel. Do that for yourself. That's okay. But at the same time, like, I feel that if you feel that way, you can't ridicule anyone else who doesn't feel that way. So I'm a private person to an extent. If I have an issue, I want to deal with it behind. Like, there's no need for me to go and put it on blast. If I have an issue with you, I'm gonna hit you up. Yo, can we have a talk? Like, can we meet up? Can we call? Whatever it may be. There's no need for me to do a back and forth. I'm just not into that. So I feel like for as far as Twitter goes right now, it's like, if it's not on Twitter, it didn't happen, or if it's not on Twitter, it's not valid yet. It's like, why do I need to put it on there for a check stamp to be like, okay, yeah, that's true, or okay, yeah, this happened, or okay, this didn't happen? It's like, that's not what Twitter. There's no need for that. When did it become that too? Yeah.
I feel like that's what angers me the most. Like, when situations get put out, and then here comes the fucking herd, expecting you to apologize to them, and it's like, fuck you, I didn't do anything to you personally. And then it's like, you have these people out here that are probably doing worse, that are not being called out, but they're trying to hold you accountable. Like fuck you, bro. Like, I'm not apologizing to you. Like, I don't know you. It makes me so upset, because it's like, everybody,
y'all can't feel this heat.
Because when you see when somebody else is on the hot seat, but everybody else wants to act like they're holier than thou.
It's true.
And that's what I can't fuck with.
It's true.
Like, especially like when people were digging up old tweets, I'm like, hey, bro, you guys were kicking too. Like, you guys were in that too.
Like, everyone has a past. Everyone has mistakes. We were all young at one point of time. Like, some tweets, if you're looking for 10 years ago from now, I was 17 years old.
But why are they looking?
But why are you looking? How do you find it too? That's the thing. Because
Because it's one thing, like, if someone said some fucked up shit, okay, like, you said that, like, it's in writing.
This you?
But then it's also like, as the person who found it, like, why did you go, like, why are you looking?
Yeah.
Your intention was to embarrass so-and-so?
Being bad-minded.
I feel like it went in levels. It went from, like, this you to now, like, it's, like, more serious matters. And when it's serious things, I can't. Like, I can show my feelings in the sense of like, man, that's messed up. And if I know someone who was affected, be like, hey, I'm really sorry. I hope you find the peace that you need, and hope things get cleared up. And if someone around me is involved, I'm like, yo, like, if someone around me involved with something that is wrong, I will let them know on my own and be like, yo, like, as a friend, I'm gonna hold you accountable, be like, yo, fam, what happened? Like, let's talk about this. Like, my thing is with Twitter is like, not everything needs to be online. Right. We can have private conversations as grown people. Like I said, if it helps you, sure. But for me, how I feel, it's like, no. Like, I don't. No one needs to come on Twitter in the middle of the day. It's a nice sunny afternoon and just see darkness. Like, come on. I want to have a little laugh. I want to see a little 1-2 GIF or GIF, whatever word you use. See, like, I come on to see the WAP video, and that shit was fire, you know. But then you go on Twitter, it's like, oh, yo, all these girls with their WAP and their this. I'm like, bro, stop being so negative. Go outside.
Right.
Get some sun. Smile. You won't break your face. Like, that's the thing that I miss about Twitter. But,
that is crazy about Twitter to me is because I feel like people who are obviously hurt and have experienced trauma and are going through something personal, whether it's with someone else who they know or whatever, I think people are using Twitter as a safe space. And I'm telling you, I promise you on my life, Twitter is not a safe space. Ever. There may be one or two people who will, you know, actually genuinely try to reach out, support you. Like, I know Sherry has done a lot of things where she sees something on the timeline and, you know, she'll start a GoFundMe or she'll start a support group to help that person.
Yeah.
But that's Sherry, 1 out of your 1,000 followers. You know what I mean? So for you to really put out something that's so sensitive or triggering or sometimes criminal and trying to use Twitter as a safe space, that shit is not safe, because I promise you, people are screenshotting your shit. Yeah, unfortunately
it's not as safe as you
people are laughing and people are assholes.
Yeah, it's not as safe as you think it
it's not.
And at the same time, putting your stuff out there can help. So like I've seen some stuff on the time, and there was a topic once after I think it was the family meeting, like and then they had a topic about different type of abuse and sexual abuse, and I saw it and I'm like, it helped me realize that something I went through technically counts as sexual abuse. So I was like, damn, you know, like I never really sat down and really dealt with that, and I'm like, okay, you know, like that actually was, and that helped me. Twitter helped me put those pieces together and be like, oh, you know what, Ten, this happened, you accept it, you do what you need to do, and you heal from that, whatever it may be. So Twitter can help, but it's like 1 out of 10 times it can. Most of the time it's just negative, and it's a lot of people aren't your friend, and it sucks, you know, it is what it is. And that's not even just Toronto, that's the world, that's just everybody. You need to realize that not everyone doesn't love you, man.
It's true.
It's true, very true.
And I think when those personal like stories and situations start coming out, like people are screenshotting, they're sharing your tweet, and sometimes they're not sharing it in the best way.
No, so you may know why they're sharing,
right? You may think you're going out and putting out a powerful story where you want people to hold people accountable, but most of the time that person's not being held accountable. Either you're getting laughed at or you're getting commented as extra or whatever. That's not the case. Obviously people have their own ways of dealing with things, but I want people to realize that there has to be a better way to get your point across that's still effective but still genuine and getting in the eyes of the right people. Because there's a lot of time, like I said, there's a lot of times where I see something, I'm like, bro, I promise you this is not gonna end up the way you want it to
help
end.
You.
And people aren't trying to help you on Twitter.
No,
you know what I mean? They're
not all the time.
No,
not at all. It's like we said, it's like 10 or 20%. And there are good people on Twitter. There's good people that you can meet. I've met all of you via Twitter, and you know, you guys are all cool. So like there's goodness that comes from Twitter, but in small increments, it's like, you know, so
you really got to do Twitter in very small doses.
Like I've seen it where people like they'll be Twitter friends, and then some mix-up happens, and then it's beef. I'm like, I thought you guys were buddies.
And you're like...
And, like, I peeped that with one individual, and I DM'd her. I'm like, listen, these people that you're kicking with, they're not your friends. Because, like, friends wouldn't subtweet you and say this kind of shit. And I remember, like, a year later, she came to me, and she's like, you know, like, I remember when you said this and that, like, it all kind of came to light, like, thank you for, like, because no one had to tell her anything. I could have just been like, okay, like, you're stupid.
And sit there and kiki, like, most people don't watch it play out.
But she was like, you know, like, thank you for, like, calling that out. Like, now I realize, you know, but, like, people are fake, bro. people want to be the judge, jury, executioner, and it's like, I don't answer to you.
Right.
Like, if I have something that I'm going through, that I'm, like, growing through and all that stuff, like, I do not report to you to say, okay, like, this week, this was my enlightenment. Like, fuck you. Fuck you. No.
And another thing that I would say that bothers me is when people try to draw out other people people that they have if that makes sense. So people try to draw out the friends of the people you have a direct issue with, and you may have an issue with the friend, but then it's like,
why don't you go to the friend?
Listen to me very clearly. I promise you, if someone ever tries to draw me, I'm talking directly. I get this shit. If someone ever tries to draw me out based off of something that my friend did, I fucking dare you. Because either I promise you, I have a low tolerance for bullshit when it comes to my friends. So most of the times I know when they're doing fuck shit, and I promise you it's already been addressed. So I fucking dare you to type in my @ and try to bring something to you that friend. I promise you, it's already been addressed, or I didn't know. And even if I didn't know, fuck you. Now I know, and now I'll deal with it.
That's it.
Outside of Twitter.
Yep.
I don't owe my 2,000 followers or whatever nothing. Nothing if I don't know you directly. I will call out my friends, but I'm not gonna at my friend
on the internet,
and draw them out.
If you have their number, we're friends.
Why
I'm gonna go on Twitter
that?
and at you to draw you out when I could call you.
Yes,
that's my thing. It's
like don't I dare you to at me and be like, oh, did you know in 2010 you're what? Like you were first of all, we weren't even friends in 2010. So again, fuck you. Second of all, why are you adding me at them? Yeah. And then I promise you, I can promise anyone, if my friends have done anything problematic, it will be addressed.
Yeah, definitely.
Or it has been.
So do not.
Or if it hasn't been, you just didn't know.
Literally. So don't draw me out ever. No one's ever done it to me. No. Don't at me. Don't at me. And I promise you, I'm not addressing some tweets either. I don't address it. I will scroll past you like you're invisible.
Literally scroll past.
So if you want to at me when you chat me, and if you at me, I promise you.
At me when you
say that again.
Literally. At me when you chat me, and if you at me, then it's gonna be argument.
I can deal with it.
I don't see anything wrong with that. Like I said, it's different strokes for different folks. Like everyone's entitled to how they want to feel when it comes to Twitter and what they want to do. But for me, I ain't with the public nonsense. Yeah. I ain't for all this hoorah and like if you want to have a conversation, my Twitter is open. It's not private. I've been on Twitter since 2010.
Yeah.
Like I'm cool to have conversations. It's okay. Like I'm grown, Like I don't try to make it a age thing and like a maturity thing, because you can be young and still be mature. You can be older and be immature, but it's like, yo, listen, we can talk. Like it's not no thing.
Yeah.
I think that's lost amongst a lot of people. We don't know how to have a conversation that's not on here, not on your phone.
Yeah.
We don't know how to talk without a screen. It's like, come on, sit. Have a face to face.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
I'm 5'2", 125 pounds. Like I'm not gonna do anything to you. We can have conversations. But that's you.
And another thing is like, what is the actual? Sometimes I think about, because like when people do things, I always think about, okay, what is your goal?